deep down where the fear it sleeps, I feel something tempting me.
How did it feel to play like in a forest, like pretty much a performance in a forest with just like your crew around you?
It was so loud. I was like, I wonder how many people can hear this beyond. And I was terrified of poison ivy because I'm crazy allergic to it. So he's like, oh, just step back into the woods and just walk towards me. I'm like looking all around me for poison ivy. So that was fun.
I not only had to play bass and I directed it.
Yeah.
So it was neat. It was cool, especially our drummer, who is gotta be one of the loudest drummers I've ever heard.
The click was amazingly loud as well.
Yeah, he's Ted lives on the click. Like as drummers should be.
Yes.
He's amazingly time oriented. And he loves to have like a really loud click, and he wears in-ears, and it's loud in his in-ears. It's in ours too, but it's in his. It's like, I put his in-ears on one day. I was like, forget this. So we're out in the forest, and before we slate the video and we start, you're just like, gong, 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 gong. I was like, people are going to think something weird is
going on in the woods. Like, what's going on in the woods?
Like, I'm sure a couple miles away, people were like,
what is that? Yeah.
There'll be a ghost story one day, and then the echo of the click came through the woods.
And the 4 count.
Yeah. So it was fun. It was an enjoyable. It was a long day. It was like an 18-hour day out in the woods filming, and but I think it was totally worth it. And it was also like the first time we usually have a concept and we shoot and we do what the band would like to do. I think the first time we kind of outside was on the Wolf a little bit, but this was the first time we had really notes like, hey, this one just show the band, do the thing. Yeah. So we followed it, not begrudgingly, but a little bit like, if this don't work, we got another cut with a lot of stuff in it. But it worked, so it was cool.
Do you guys think touring and like going overseas to tour is like, you have to think of like different things of like how to do stuff compared to like going like on a US tour? Is it different, or like do you?
Oh yeah, it's a lot different.
You have to.
I mean, power. Let's just
power.
Yeah, power supplies are totally different. He blew up.
I blew up an amp in England. That really shouldn't have blown up because we were playing in a building that was built sometime before America. It was built in the 1400s. We were
jet lagged extremely.
We were extremely jet lagged. But we ended up afterwards hanging out with the crowd, and we had them there till 4 a.m. Which to us, like, we're not party animals or anything like that, don't get me wrong, but the owner of the pub said this building has never been open past midnight ever. In probably like 600 years.
Yeah, like ever.
And I kind of was like, he's like, you damn Americans. I was like, oh my God.
I think my favorite part was I looked over and realized there was a kitchen, and I was like, we could have been eating something this whole time.
Do you change up your guys' set a little bit, or a stage show? Do you have any plans for it that you can discuss?
It's a heavy set.
It's a heavy set. I think I'm doing costume changes this time for the first time ever. That should be fun.
Nothing could go wrong there.
Nothing can go wrong there. I have like a traveling dressing room.
We've amped up
like a tent.
For anyone who's there's a tent. It'd be funny if we took you on a studio tour. But we've amped up the lights. Mm-hmm. We've amped up the smoke, and it's every year when we go out, we try and add something more. This year, there's a ton of. Normally, we use a lot of different stagnant lighting and switch from scenes. This time, there's a lot of mechanical lighting, and things that are happening that we had to experiment with. And a lot. And this is our first tour we're actually doing. It's almost computer controlled.
Yeah, so cross your fingers for us.
Nothing is good. A computer malfunctioning, not doing something right. Come on, that rarely happens.
Humans program. It's a garbage in, garbage out.